Where do you find yourself taking a stance, and where do you find yourself avoiding a stance? All right, y'all. So we're at season 2, episode 8, and this is a double question. I don't think I've asked a double question before. I try to keep it simple with one question, but this one deserved two. So last week we had a question that was asking us about overreaction and undercorrection. And that I think is really key. I had a good time with that one this past week, just really, really assessing myself and not assessing myself to feel good, but assessing myself to be a better human, right? To be a better citizen in this world. So that was a really, really helpful reflection for me. And now this double question is kind of the same thing, but a different side of the coin. Maybe not a different side of the coin, another side of the coin. So we live in such a messy world, right? We have a messy world where it seems like on one hand there's justice and justice promoting and justice oriented things, and on the other hand there's this, you got to take care of yourself before you do anything else. And I am curious because I don't believe we can do it all, right? I think if we responded to every moment where we felt something, I think we know what happens when we are inclined to do that. So I guess what I'll say is I think for self-preservation, there's something, we have to choose our battles. We have to choose our battles. But this question is coming out of, I think we hear people say sometimes, like, if you don't take a side, no, neutrality is taken aside or something like that. That is not how it's said, but that's what's coming to my head right now. And I don't really edit these things, so we're just going to keep moving. But I hear about that all the time. And it made me think in my own world about, like, where do I not take a stance? Like, where am I not actively deciding how I'm engaging with some sort of conflict? And that got really interesting because of the limited lives that we live in, and we can live full lives and have lots of people, but we are still a slice of a bigger plan. And it really made me think about where this question might live in my world and if I like the answer to it. That was the most important thing. Do I like the answer to this question in my life? And actually, too, I don't know that this question has to be about conflict, right? Like, I think that there are many other times where we use our values or use, like, what we believe to decide how we think or how we feel about something, how we vote, right? And that doesn't have to be rooted in conflict, but it is a decision. And I think with this question, even with the wondering, like, do I like my honest answer to this question? There's something in there too that's like, is this in alignment with how I want to live my life? Is this in alignment with what I know to be true, what I have learned to be true, what I have experienced, and what those I love have learned to be true and what they have experienced? And I think that if we think about alignment in that way, and where we take a stance and where we don't, it's kind of fascinating. Well, it's been fascinating to me today to think about that. I also think about the fact that if you change this question to say, when do I take a stance and when do I not take a stance? With whom do I take a stance and with whom do I not take a stance? Where do I feel emboldened and where do I feel disempowered? That is also fascinating. And really, the question is, do I like my answers to those questions? Are my answers, my honest answers to those questions, in alignment with how I want to live my life? Or what do I need to do in order to make a shift to be in alignment in the ways that I want to be in alignment? I always think that alignment is key. When things are out of alignment with what we believe, with what we think we should be doing, with what we know, and even I think when we get new information that really changes what we believe, what we value, and what we know, and things feel out of alignment, like, we suffer those consequences. So much I think is about being in alignment or recognizing and being deliberate in the moments where you're out of alignment. So the action item for this week is to take some time and assess this for yourself and really be real with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. Like, you are the only person being, so that you can't avoid, right? So being real with yourself really matters, regardless of what you say outside, although that might take you out of alignment. But you got to be real with yourself and know what it is that's true for you. So connect with yourself, connect with loved and trusted ones, and really think about your answer to any variation of this question and determine if that's where you want to be, or if you are interested in making moves towards shifting to something different, to be more in alignment, to be taking particular stances and not taking other stances, or to access your power in particular moments with particular people and not accessing it in others if those are out of alignment with what you desire in your world. So this is going to be a hard one, I think, for real. If you're real with yourself, I think this is going to be a hard one. But we got this. We're shifting always and in all ways. And I'm looking forward to the next Sunday sit down. And in the meantime, I hope you're talking to people about this. Again, loved and trusted ones. You don't have to talk to everybody about this, but and talk to yourself about it too. As always, if you're interested in any kind of thought partnership, I'm so open to that. Let me know. Get a comment on here. I'll respond. We're shifting, y'all. Let's go.